It starts so quietly, you don't even realize your childhood is slipping away. No dramatic moment, no warning, just a 7-year-old kid staring into the eyes of a parent who can't hold themselves together. Maybe it's addiction, maybe it's anger, maybe it's silence that cuts deeper than words. And in that moment, something ancient wakes up inside you. If I don't hold everything together, no one will. That's how it begins, not with noise, but with a child disappearing. Not physically, but emotionally. The psychology of the child who grew up too fast. They start smiling more, crying less. They read the room before they speak. They become the emotional thermostat of the household. The world calls them mature, responsible, strong. But no one ever asks, at what cost? This is the invisible grief of children who were forced to become adults too early. And the worst part? The world rewards their strength while ignoring their pain. When a child becomes the caregiver instead of the one cared for, psychologists call it parentification. It's when the child becomes the therapist, the peacekeeper, the protector. And this doesn't just hurt emotionally, it changes the brain. It creates something called hypervigilance, that constant scanning for danger, that tightness in your chest, that feeling that peace can't be trusted. Love becomes a transaction. You give calm, and maybe, just maybe, they'll give you safety. You learn to make yourself smaller. You disappear, not your body, but your voice. And in your place grows someone who performs, the good child, the helper, the quiet achiever. And then one day, you're an adult, high-functioning, independent, put together, but inside, you're tired, always tired. You can't rest because your nervous system doesn't know what peace feels like. You can't fully love because love feels unsafe. You can't stop helping others because it's the only way you've ever felt needed. You tell yourself, I turned out fine. But fine is just another mask. This is the trauma of the child who never got to be one. Because when dysfunction is normal, chaos feels like home. Stillness feels wrong. Joy feels suspicious. You might wonder, why would any child take on that role? Because attachment is survival. A child will always choose belonging over authenticity. They'll silence their truth just to keep love nearby. That's not weakness. That's intelligence. That's survival. But what saved you then is destroying you now. You're not broken. You're stuck in an old pattern, one that's begging to be seen, not shamed. Healing doesn't start with fixing. It starts with witnessing. It's saying, yes, that happened. It was real, and it wasn't my fault. Because until you validate your pain, you'll keep gaslighting yourself with thoughts like, it wasn't that bad. Other people had it worse. I should be grateful. No, you should be honest. You should be free. You'll feel the grief you never got to feel. You'll cry for birthdays no one remembered. You'll mourn the innocence you lost while protecting people who should have protected you. That's not regression. That's healing. Because what was once frozen is finally melting. Carl Jung once said, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. To truly heal, you must face the scared, the angry, the ashamed, the child inside who's still waiting for you. Ask yourself, what did I need back then that I never got? Maybe it's as simple as, I needed someone to say it wasn't my fault. I needed someone to let me rest. I needed to play, to laugh, to just be a child. Now, you give that to yourself. Not to erase your past, but to stop reliving it. That's how you stop chasing parents in partners. That's how you stop confusing anxiety for intuition. That's how you start becoming you again. If you grew up too fast, Listen closely. Your strength was never the problem. Your lack of safety was. You don't have to keep earning love. You don't have to keep proving your worth. You can choose softness. You can choose rest. You can choose peace. Because maybe for the first time, you're finally growing up, not through fear, but through truth. You never had a childhood, but you still have a future. And this time, you get to write it your way.